up, Kryptonians? Welcome back to another video on the channel where I sit here and I try to break down the latest episode of Titans. Episode 3 of Titans came out this past Friday. Again, that is a spoiler warning for you if you have not caught up on Titans. Just like last week, there was plenty of shit that stood out this week. So if you don't want to know any of that, you have your chance. Walk away now. The title of this episode is called Ghosts, and I think it's actually really appropriate that it is called Ghosts because this episode is all about dealing with inner ghosts, like as far as like your inner turmoil and stuff that you're dealing with. More importantly, it deals with all of the ghosts from the past, and we see that there is a ton of baggage with the Titans this year. Old Titans come to Titans Tower in San Francisco. They meet up with the new Titans. You can just feel that tension hanging in the air between everybody. Like the old Titans have tension, and then the new Titans have tension. The old Titans, because they're like, why are they here? And then what happened that caused you guys to split up in the first place? Dick is choosing not to tell the new Titans about it because he kind of wants them to have a fresh start. It's illuminated most in the conversation that Donna has with Dick towards the end of the episode, where it almost sounds like at a point she's blaming him for the shit that happened in the past. What was the thing that caused the Titans to break up? I mean, most of the theories center around Deathstroke killing Aqualad. See how messed up that Donna is when she comes here? You see how messed up the other Titans are? You saw that flashback in the beginning of the episode that you saw somebody celebrating a birthday or something. Prevailing theory is that something happened that got Deathstroke pissed off, maybe the death of his own son, Jericho. He retaliated by killing Aqualad, who was an original member of the Titans, and that's why Aqualad has not been mentioned. You haven't seen him. Supposedly we're supposed to see him next week on a flashback. I guess we're gonna find out about that in short order, but yeah, it's definitely something bad happened because these old Titans is not feeling the new Titans Tower. The old Titans are getting settled into Titans Tower and trying to relive the glory days and the past traumas that they went through. You have the new Titans and they're sparring. Once again, Jason's got the blindfold on and he's training with them, and obviously Jason's extremely well trained, so he's kicking their ass pretty much. What's kind of funny is that during the sparring session, I was kind of complaining in the back of my head a little bit. I was just kind of like, are we ever going to see Rachel use her powers during a sparring session? Same with Gar. Like, are we going to see training sessions where they actually get to use the abilities that will likely help them in an eventual fight? That's what usually tends to happen when you have teenagers and they're sparring and there's a lot of emotion in the room. Things got heated. Things got a little bit out of control. Jason got mad at Rachel and then he hit her in the head, and then Rachel, oh my god, she used the full telekinesis shit. The entire time I was like, holy shit, we finally get to see Rachel use a little bit more of that Raven power. But don't kill Jason. Don't kill Jason. His death is supposed to come later. There's supposed to be a crowbar and a bunch of other stuff involved. Rachel did pretty much almost kill Jason during this moment. Jason, of course, is feeling some type of way about it. And we see that this is bothering Rachel the longer the episode goes on, all culminating in a really great scene where she has a conversation with Corey later. You have Rachel admitting to Corey, you're my people too, I want to be where you are. It obviously reveals to her that taking out her father Trigon did not have the intended effect on her psyche or her powers that she thought it would have. It's a great scene because it feels like a mother talking to her daughter. Like, that's essentially what Corey was last year for the Titans. It meant enough to Corey for Corey to just forget whatever the hell she was doing and just like, nope, I can't go home. My daughter needs me. My babies need me. I'm going to see my babies. Friend zone Tamaran that she was talking with the entire episode is not going to be happy. But again, he's probably got some good food while he's waiting. Most of this episode centered around the old Titans trying to find Dr. Light, locate him, take him out, you know, the usual shit. There's a pretty great sequence in an empty stadium where Dr. Light fights the old Titans. Old Titans went in civilian clothes. During the skirmish, Hank gets hurt and Dr. Light gets away when he threatens a bus full of people that pull up at the exact wrong moment that they were supposed to pull up. The fake mad scene where Hank and them get back to the tower and then Hank is like, dude, you could have taken out Dr. Light, what the hell? And obviously he's not really mad, it's a fake mad. He's like lashing out because he's hurt and he's disappointed. The real mad is Jason. Why? Because Jason's a hothead and Jason lets his emotions and his tempers get the best of him, and he starts questioning Dick about everything. He starts getting in his face about shit. As soon as he stepped to Dick and he was like, nah man, you're in my way, I was like, okay, he's messing up. Jason, back away. You don't want these problems, bruh. Fairness, Dick did warn him. Dick was like, bruh, don't do this. Don't. He didn't say it like that, but he was basically, he pleaded with him. He's like, don't. Of course, anytime you tell Jason not to do something, he's of course going to turn around and do the exact same thing you told him not to do. So he swings on Dick. Dick didn't like it. It's actually created like one of the funniest gifs in Titans history though, where Dick sidesteps the punch and he takes the back of his head and he just throws Jason on the ground like a fucking rag doll. Jason's pretty good, but obviously Dick is Dick, and you can't beat Dick. I mean, you can, assuming that the porn quality is high enough. It's kind of funny that this scene was framed as Dick being the bad guy when really it was Jason who was the one who was mouthing off. I'm not saying that Dick handled everything perfectly, but when we pop in on Slade Wilson, he's having a conversation with Dr. Light. He reveals what his plan is to Dr. Light. The actor's name, I know his last name is Morales, but he brings such a great menace to the role. Like, he brings such an ultra seriousness that really fits the character of Terminator. Doing a great job at building up the intimidation factor with this guy. I mean, every single sentence that this guy says makes you feel like he could kill you in the next 2 seconds. When Dr. Light tried to make an eye joke and then Deathstroke was like way too serious serious about it, and he was like, I can see that. And it's just one of the best moments of the show. It's not necessarily an intentionally funny moment, but they played it that way, and I'd say that's probably the best thing about it. Best holy shit moment of the episode was at the end, where Jason and Gar, foolishly of course, they decide to go track Dr. Light on their own. They find out where he is, they go to confront him. First, Jason's getting his ass whooped, and this is where some of that early sparring training with Dick really comes in handy. It's one of the things that Dick taught them last week, is that sometimes during a battle, your eyes, your ears, your senses are going to be taken away from you. You need to be able to keep fighting when that happens. Dr. Light, with him controlling the electricity and basically able to make it go dark and make it so that it's hard for Jason to see, Jason remembers that training and he starts kicking Dr. Light's ass. I was rooting for him and it was a great moment. And then Deathstroke showed up and I was just like, oh. See Deathstroke, he's in his full armor, his full suit. It looks glorious, man. I love that suit. Here Jason screaming out, the Terminator takes him and he's gone. So Gar and Jason go out to get Dr. Light and Jason ends up kidnapped. This led some people to theorize that Jason is actually going to get killed by Deathstroke. I don't know. I mean, I guess I could roll with it as long as they make it work within the story, but I would probably say that I would rather see Jason in his original origin being killed by the Joker with that crowbar. Of course, eventually I would love to see some Red Hood stuff show up on the show. I mean, it makes sense that it would. It makes sense that they're going that direction. I won't be surprised one way or the other, but me personally, as a fan of that storyline in the comics, I would rather see Jason get killed by the Joker. Corey and the Tamaran, that I've already forgotten the name of, was pretty cool in this episode. I mean, at least at the bare minimum, you get to find out a little bit more about the Tamaran culture. She's actually really about to leave and go home and become queen or whatever for the Tamarans, and instead she's like, nope, again, my babies need me, I'm not going anywhere. Tells me we are definitely going to see Blackfire at some point this season, and we're going to see her bring a bunch of Tamarans, and it's not going to be pretty, but I can't wait to see Starfire and her sister have a fight. Hank and Dawn have a pretty cool conversation in Titan's Tower where they're kind of reminiscing about the old days and why they both had to stop being heroes. Sometimes Hank and Dawn, I love them individually as characters, but sometimes it does feel like they're on a show that they shouldn't be on. Sometimes it feels like they're 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and it feels like the show would be better served putting them in a spin-off where we could focus on their lives. Otherwise, they feel like they're kind of tacked on and unnecessary. This episode was much more about the character interactions, so a lot of people might see it as filler, but for me, there were some really great character interactions. They made it work. There was a lot of great moments. One extra moment I do want to highlight is the conversation between Raven and between Rose Wilson. Obviously, two girls, daddy issues, they connect. It makes sense. What the hell's gonna happen to Jason now that he's in the hands of Deathstroke, and how soon is it gonna be before we see Dick in that Nightwing outfit? Come on. Sparring session that he had with Rose at the end of the episode where he's using basically the Eskrima sticks. I mean, come on, that's such a great tease. Just give it to us. I want it before the end of the season. Either way, guys, those are my thoughts on the episode of Titans that was. Let me know what you thought about it in the comment section down below. Like and subscribe to the Superfan Show. Stay tuned for more videos, and as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace.